Weather Rate certified most accurate forecast. Fox54 weather.
We've been talking about it all week, and the time has almost arrived for Oktoberfest.
Are you excited for Oktoberfest? Oktoberfest is one of my favorite events every year for a different variety of reasons, but I love Oktoberfest. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm more than excited. Here's why.
Okay.
So I haven't ever been to an Oktoberfest.
Okay.
And this will be the first Oktoberfest I attend here in Huntsville.
Oh, are you going to ride rides with me?
Sure. There's rides?
Yes, there's lots of rides.
Wait, I should know this, because I think there's like a Ferris wheel in your graphic.
Yes, there's Ferris wheels and all kinds of other rides, and they really are great rides. So if you see Kanisha and I acting like children this weekend riding rides, mind your own business or get on the ride with us. Either way, we'll be riding rides. Temperatures climbed into the mid and upper 80s this afternoon. 86 was the high in Huntsville, 85 Athens and Decatur, 85 in Florence. A little cooler over in northeast Alabama, but that's okay. They're typically a little cooler than everybody else. 84 was the high in Scottsboro. 81, Arab and Albertville. Actually did make it into the lower 80s this afternoon for both of them. Good job. 81, 7 o'clock, 76 by 8, 73 degrees by the time we get to 9 o'clock. Maybe just a touch on the humid end of the spectrum for tonight's Rocket City Trash Pandas game. But that's okay, because in the grand scheme of things, it is still going to be an absolutely fantastic evening, not only at Toyota Field, but across all of North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. That fantastic evening is going to transition into another great night. Temperatures dropping into the lower 60s. And yes, I do believe you could still leave your windows open before you go to bed tonight, early tomorrow morning. High temperatures on Friday afternoon, much the same compared to what we saw today. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. These numbers are close to or just below where we should be this time of year. It might be a little more humid tomorrow afternoon, and you might have noticed that slight increase in humidity this afternoon. I know I definitely did. I actually had to cut my run short a little early and finish off walking, which is not necessarily something I like to do. I like to end in the same place that I started, so I was rather unhappy about that. Friday night football is going to be just as nice as Friday afternoon. 79 at 7, 78 by 8, 73 degrees. By the time we get to 9 o'clock on Friday evening, that's what you can expect if you're going to Oktoberfest on Friday. But I might suggest going on Saturday, because Kanisha and I are going to be there. We'll be at the Fox54 tent, and we'll be riding rides. 87 on Saturday afternoon. Temperatures hanging out in the upper 80s. By the time we get to Sunday, temperatures really going to begin to climb by the time we get to the back half of the weekend. Now, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I wanted to talk about it again today because I continue to see it circulating on social media. Why is Oktoberfest in September? There's actually a really good reason for that. Oktoberfest is in September because the weather is better with longer days in the month of September compared to October. Now, this specifically relates to Germany. I know I posted this exact graphic on my Facebook, and some folks were like, okay, but I think the weather in October is better. Well, this stat doesn't necessarily apply to the weather here in Huntsville. It applies to the weather in Germany, and here in Huntsville, we tend to follow those German traditions pretty closely. The event actually used to be held in October when it first started in the early 1800s, but then it grew in great popularity, so they decided to move it to September so more could enjoy it. Now, if you don't want to go to Oktoberfest this weekend, might I suggest a Huntsville Ghost Walk in downtown Huntsville on Saturday evening. Temperatures are going to be absolutely fantastic, hanging out in the low and mid 70s. Not a drop of rain in the forecast. There's your weekend. We've already established that. Back into the lower 90s by the time we get to Monday. Look at this. Through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, we are pushing the mid 90s, 93, 94, and 93. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. That's all I got for you this evening. Here's what's coming up in sports.